The air in the tent was stale, thick with the cloying scent of cheap perfume and the reek of my brother's greed. I stood numbly on the wooden block. The final humiliation. I was the last available asset. The final, desperate sale of a ruined house. Gareth and Tristan, my elder brothers, stood beside the auctioneer, their faces slick with sweat and false composure. They had sold our land, our title, and now they sold me. The bidding was quick, brutal. No one looked me in the eye. I was a transaction, a symbol. Then, the tent fell silent. A shadow filled the entrance, impossibly tall, impossibly dominant, the new bidder, King Kael of the Nightshade Lycans. He stepped forward. He didn't bid in gold. He didn't bid in land. His voice was a low, chest-rumbling growl, authority personified. The price is everything. Ashwood is mine. The woman is mine. The dead is settled. His eyes were pure, molten gold, piercing me. He wasn't just a king. He was a natural predator. He radiated power, the scent of pine and absolute sovereignty overwhelming the tent. He walked to the block, his massive hand closing around my wrist. My skin, it felt cold, useless beneath his glove. Your price, King Kael? Gareth stammered, pale with fear. Kael dragged me forward. He looked only at the tattoo beneath my collarbone, the silver crescent that marked me. A prophecy, Kael announced, his voice carrying the weight of ancient destiny. She is the moon key. You have sold me the means to secure my reign and our future. He released my wrist. If you try to run, I will hunt you. Do you understand, little flame? I met his fierce gaze. I understand that I am a captive. I understand nothing else. He smiled, a chilling, predatory curve of his lips. Good defiance will keep you alive. Come. The carriage ride was silent, crushing. Kael sat opposite me. He wasn't touching me, yet I felt trapped, breathless. The prophecy, I finally whispered, breaking the heavy quiet. What did it say? Kael's posture tightened. It says that the Alpha Warrior, I, must unite with the Moon Key. You together, we secure the realm against the Blood Wolves. The Blood Wolves? They are myths. They are chaos given form. They are very real. You're pathetic. Greedy brothers brought attention to the silver light of your mark. They accelerated the timeline. My own brothers sold me to a monster to settle a gambling debt. I am not a monster, Kael corrected. I am a protector. I paid your price to save my kingdom, Elara, but now they know you exist and chaos will stop at nothing to break the union before it begins. He shifted forward, his hand resting on the seat beside my thigh. I bought you for the prophecy, but the prophecy demands union. If you run, you risk not just your life, but my entire kingdom. His voice dropped, a dangerous, possessive growl. I own your life, Elara, and I own your safety. Do not forget that. My heart hammered. You think confining me is protection? I think it is the only way to ensure the key doesn't fall into the wrong hands, and the journey ends now. The carriage rattled to a stop. Through the window, I saw the colossal, dark silhouette of the obsidian citadel. Soon, I was ushered into a private wing, a gilded cage. My escort, a stern beta named Ronan, delivered the only instructions. You are confined to this wing. You will not leave. King Kael permits no risks. I walked to the thick door and tested the handle. Locked. I picked up a pillow and threw it at the wall. A futile gesture. I noticed a flaw near the fireplace. I picked up a heavy silver poker. I began scraping the sharp edge against the dark plaster. The door slid open. Silent as breath, Kael stood there. He was terrifyingly calm. I gave you one rule, Elara, and you lasted less than 12 hours. I am not property to be locked away. You are the most valuable strategic asset this continent possesses, he countered, and you are attempting to deface a citadel wall with a call for rescue. That is reckless idiocy. I dropped the poker. It's an attempt to reclaim my agency. He walked to the mark, and with a casual swipe of his massive hand, he smoothed the plaster over. Your agency is now focused entirely on survival. Learn the difference, little flame. My brothers sold me for gold. I challenged. Tell me you bought me for the prophecy, not for the pleasure of having a captive. A growl rose in his throat, deep, chest rumbling. Prophecy demands union, not ownership, Kael ground out, but I bought you for both. You are the key. You are the mate promised in my dreams, and every instinct I possess screams mine. I gasped. That glass is soundproof. The air is filtered, he continued, pointing to the window. You are safer here than if I chained you naked to the throne. Why? Because I need your mind whole, your spirit bright. He stepped back. Your room is secured by a passive magic that only responds to my presence. It keeps others out. It keeps you safe. Learn the rules, Elara. He left the door sealed behind him with a near inaudible hiss. I sat by the fireplace. A service door opened. A servant placed a tray of food quietly on a side table, and beneath the bread, a small, rolled parchment, a communication. The note was brief. Watch the king. The shadow is near. Your brothers spoke too much. They named the price V. Moments later, the main door slid open again. Kael walked in, shoulders visibly slumped. He looked utterly exhausted. Did you read the note? He asked, not looking at me. What note? The note, Kael repeated, from my intelligence chief. Verena, they didn't just take the gold, they boasted about the royal price. Your value went from political gesture to a confirmed prophetic target in a matter of hours. You called them the Blood Wolves, I said, moving toward him. Who are they? Why are they so afraid of unity? The Blood Wolves are what happens when a Lycan pack is consumed by dark, fragmented magic. Their magic is designed to unravel order. He gestured vaguely. The prophecy is about combining the fierce, protective strength of the warrior alpha with the unifying, healing empathy of the moon key. When that bond is complete, the Blood Wolves cannot exist. That's why they will stop at nothing. I reached out. You're exhausted. You haven't slept, have you? Kael flinched. I cannot sleep. Kael admitted, my dreams are no longer just visions of your face, they are warnings. Tell me your dreams. A silver ring, cracked glass, and always the smell of old copper, just before the bloodshed. The main communication crystal on the citadel wall flashed an angry, aggressive crimson. Duty calls. Stay here. Do not leave this room. Do not breathe a word of the Blood Wolves. He strode out. The scent of copper meant a traitor's link. I will not sit here and wait. I tuned into the subtle vibrations of the citadel. I pressed my palm against the stone wall. I sensed a faint air current near the baseboard's a seam. I leveraged the heavy molding with the silver poker. The wood splintered with a dry crack. A small, dark aperture appeared, a ventilation shaft. I shed the velvet dress and donned a simple, dark tunic. I squeezed through the dusty opening. Guided by Kael's overwhelming scent, pine and sovereignty, I navigated to a grate. Through the cold metal slats, I could see the inner command. The Blood Wolves hit 3 supply lines simultaneously. Ronan, I heard Kael say, it's a diversion. They're searching for the anomaly. They know she's here. We found a dark sigil, a sacrifice, at the border, Ronan reported. I need to leave the citadel, Ronan, Kael stated. I need to hit their main operation base. I cannot risk leaving her exposed. Abruptly, Kael walked directly toward the grate. I froze. He leaned his head against the cold stone. I need a day, Kael muttered, his voice raw with fatigue. Just one day to clear the line. One day for the moon key to be safe. Ronan, do you feel it? The pressure of the prophecy. It's a weight, isn't it? It is the weight of destiny, my king, Ronan replied. Kael pushed off the wall. Prepare the border patrol. If anyone is seen near that wing, their loyalties are questionable. I backed out of the crawl space. He is leaving. I will not sit here and wait. My goal was the armory. A ridiculous undertaking. I found a service stairway. I found a storage area, soft, black leather leggings, a durable tunic, and a small, sharp hunting knife. Before I could move to leave, a wave of profound, masculine scent washed over me. Kael, he was close, too close. He appeared at the end of the corridor, in heavy, combat-ready gear. He stopped abruptly, his nostrils flaring. The space between them burned. I know you're here, Elara. Kael's voice was a low growl, dangerously soft. The scent of fear and defiance is overwhelming and, apparently, you've acquired a new wardrobe. I stepped out, holding the knife at my side. I refuse to be a trapped symbol. I am preparing to move. I will make myself valuable. Kael closed the distance between us. He reached out and gently tilted my chin up. His gold eyes were turbulent, fury and awe mixed. You defy me in every breath, Kael murmured, but you do it in the name of the prophecy. I should punish your blatant treason against my command, but you are right. You are more than a key. A growl, purely primal and possessive, rose in his chest. If you leave the citadel, you are dead. If you leave the citadel, I will hunt you, and when I find you. I interrupted, and when you find me, king? Will you secure the bond? Kael's eyes darkened, and the mask shattered. If I find you outside these walls, Kael rasped, I will secure you by any means necessary, and I will not stop until the mating bond is complete. Do you understand the cost of that commitment, Elara? The cost of staying here is watching my world burn. I challenged. I am going to find Verena. I need to give her the information about the copper scent. Kael stared down at me. He took the hunting knife, studied it, and slid it back into its sheath at my hip. Verena is tracking the Blood Wolves' internal sabotage. She is preparing to meet me outside the Eastern Pass, Kael stated. Giving up the pretense, she travels under the name Valkyrie. You have 20 minutes if you are not in the royal wing when I return. I will know you chose the field over the protection of my chambers. He was gone. I choose partner. The mountain air was freezing. I found the designated rendezvous, the Eastern Pass. I found Valkyrie. The queen chooses the field over the cage, Valkyrie noted, her voice clipped. I need to give you this, I said quickly. My brother's greed, the scent of old copper. It's not just a rumor. I think the Blood Wolves are using that weak, broken bond to track me. Valkyrie's expression hardened instantly. A blood pact that explains the dark sigil at the border. They're following a magical tether. They're much closer than we thought. The air pressure plummeted, cold, sharp, and malevolent. They're here. Valkyrie hissed. The attack was instantaneous. 3 massive shapes, blood wolves, burst from the surrounding pines. One wolf lunged directly for me. I plunged the knife upward. Into its shoulder it gave a sickening, gurgling howl and staggered back. A sound roared through the pass that cracked the rock beneath my feet, a thunderous, furious growl. Kael arrived not in steel, but in his pure alpha dominance form. A colossal black wolf, he was fury given shape. Mine, stay away. He was a blur of shadow and unstoppable force. He dispatched the first 2, the third dissolved into oily vapor. Kael was pacing, his golden eyes, now wild, predatory, possessive. He shifted, a sudden roar of shifting bone and muscle, leaving the formidable man standing over me, naked, slick with blood. You disobeyed me. Kael ground out, his voice raw. You chose the field. You chose death. I chose to give Valkyrie the information. My brother's betrayal was the weakness. The copper scent is a tether. Kael cut me off, his voice dropping to a seductive, possessive rasp. You chose the bond. Elara, you stepped outside my protection and forced me to risk everything for you. He wiped a smudge of blood from my cheek the moment our eyes locked. The power of the prophecy, the midpoint revelation, hit us both. I tried to keep you a secret, Kael whispered, full of pain. I tried to delay this. Your reckless courage has forced my hand. I cannot risk losing you, not now, not ever. He pulled me against his powerful, naked chest. You are mine, Moon Key, he declared, the words a guttural promise, and now, we fight together. I will not hide you again. Valkyrie cleared her throat. My king, the third wolf left a marker. We need to move now. Kael released me. Elara, you ride with Valkyrie. We are going to a place they won't expect. The Cinder Foothills. And Valkyrie, she is no longer an asset. She is my mate. My queen-in-waiting. Treat her accordingly. The journey to the Cinder Foothills was relentless. The king has been having the prophetic dreams since he was 20, Valkyrie revealed quietly. He was looking for a way to break the prophecy so he could focus on the war. His coldness was the greatest sacrifice he could make. We took a short rest stop. I approached Kael. You mentioned a tragedy, I said softly. Camilla. Kael's shoulders tensed. Camilla was not my mate. Kael began. She was the previous intended key. The prophecy was interpreted wrongly. It wasn't the symbol that mattered. It was the soul's unique resonance. His composure cracked. The Blood Wolves found her first. They used their chaotic magic to twist her soul. I had to choose. Let her live as a weapon of chaos, or end her life. I killed my own family member to save the kingdom. That's why I swore I would never let another person become a victim. I touched his hand. I am not Camilla. My defiance is not betrayal. It's my strength. Kael closed his large hand around mine. Your strength is terrifying. He bent his head, and his mouth found mine. A kiss of desperate relief, overwhelming protective urge, and primal, possessive need. The plan was devised. I would be the decoy. You will travel alone, on foot, for the first 3 hours, Kael instructed, his voice devoid of warmth, though his eyes burned with worry. The Blood Wolves will track the magic tether. They will think they have isolated the key. I understand the cost, I said, my voice steady. I choose this. Kael pulled me into a brief, hard embrace. Do not slow down. Do not look back. Do not fail to reach the thicket. I slipped into the trees. I felt the magic tether, but also the surge of my inner strength. As I reached the edge of the blackwood thicket, 3 massive, dark wolves burst from the forest. A roar of fury, Kael's roar, echoed through the trees. One brute managed to slip past the flank, hitting me with a blow that sent me sprawling. Kael saw the danger. He let out a shriek of pure, primal rage and disengaged from his fight. I focused all my fear and defiance on unraveling the dark magic tether. Break the chain. The silver crescent on my neck glowed with white-hot energy. The magical tether snapped. The blood wolf staggered back. The remaining wolves dissolved into vapor. Kael rushed to me. Elara, did they touch you? I broke the tether. I gasped. The market pulsed. You are no longer the key, Kael whispered. You are the lock. You are the shield. Valkyrie appeared. They lost the trail, my king, but they took 2 of our men and one of them left a warning. They know the prophecy means the sacred grove is their only chance to break the bond before it completes. We stopped at a secure refuge. Kael dismissed Valkyrie. I need you now for my soul, Kael confessed, kneeling before me. I need you to commit your will to this pact, to me. He pulled a small, obsidian ritual blade. This is the ritual scar of sovereignty. We exchange blood and etch a twin scar on the opposite arm. It binds our wills. It seals the prophecy. There is no turning back. I choose partner, I said. Taking the knife, I drew a shallow line on his forearm. He took the blade and mirrored the action on my forearm. I gasped from the white-hot rush of magic. Kael lifted my arm and pressed his lips to the flowing wound, sealing it with a soft, reverent kiss. We are bound, Elara, by will, by blood, and by prophecy, Kael declared. The sun was a bruised purple. Kael and I stood center clearing at the sacred grove. We do this quickly, Moon Key, Kael murmured. A wave of corrosive, cold energy washed over the grove. The protective wards collapsed. The blood wolves erupted from a fissure. The leader, a monstrous brute, ran directly toward me. Kael shifted, a blinding, primal transformation, and intercepted him. I realized the brute was attacking the ritual scar, the tether. The weakness was me. The lead blood wolf drove a shard of black obsidian into Kael's flank. Kael gave a guttural cry of pain, his body convulsing. His golden eyes flickered. Kael, I screamed, dropping to my knees. The lead blood wolf turned to me. I was the poison. My defiance had doomed them. But I held fast to Kael. I am the lock. I won't let you break. I focused on the ritual scar. I pushed all my terror, all my love, into the bond. Heal the king. The silver crescent and the ritual scar flared, shining with pure moonlight. The Moon Key's power. The poison was ripped out of Kael in a shriek of dark energy. Kael let out a single, massive roar, reclaiming his soul. The blood wolf leader was thrown backward, dissolved into dust. I collapsed, falling into a vision, a shared space with Kael. Elara, you're the light, Kael told me. The final ritual must be completed on untainted ground. The grove is tainted. Where? Kael pointed to my mark, the highest point of the citadel, the summit of sovereignty. I snapped back to reality. Kael was holding me, his strength renewed. The summit. I gasped. The highest dome. We must go now. Kael scooped me into his arms. Valkyrie. Retreat. Fall back to the citadel. We will finish this at the summit. The retreat was a harrowing race. I placed my hand against Kael's bleeding flank, pouring the last dregs of my empathic energy into the wound. Heal the king. Kael received a momentary surge, enough to scatter the ambushers. We reached the citadel gates. The blood wolves had infiltrated the outer perimeter. The summit. Kael gasped, setting me down. This is it, Moon Key, Kael said, voice raw. We finish this, or we die here together. We began the agonizing climb up the winding, internal stairwell. Kael's movements grew heavier. Trust the bond, Elara, he whispered, not my strength, yours. We burst onto the summit. The leader of the blood wolves, in his humanoid form, was waiting. Kael, fueled by will, hurled himself at the leader, but the followers pinned Kael against the stone pillar. Kael was trapped in. The Alpha is neutralized, the leader declared, turning to me. I will shatter that unity. I stood alone. I dropped the knife. You thrive on chaos, I declared, my voice ringing clear, and I am the force of order. I raised my arms, displaying the glowing ritual scar. I pushed the unity power outward. We are bound. I screamed, the prophecy is complete. The summit of sovereignty activated instantly. Ancient runes flared to life. The wave of pure, Sovereign order slammed into the blood wolf leader, he shrieked, dissolving into dust. Kael was unbound, healed, and utterly renewed. The bond snapped into place. The prophecy is fulfilled. Elara, Kael breathed, you saved us. You purged the chaos. You are my queen. You are my strength. The bond demands completion, Kael whispered, his eyes blazing. Now here on the untainted ground you restored. I reached up, pulling him down. The final, passionate act of the prophecy began. The air was clean, the sun bright. Kael held me close. You are whole, I murmured. And the void is filled, Kael replied. You are my anchor, Elara, not just my queen, but my peace. I thought I was the poison. Never, Kael countered. You were the catalyst. You forced me to fight my fear of attachment. Your brothers are banished, Kael sighed. The price of their greed is exile. I was free. Valkyrie appeared, my king. The perimeter is secured. The allied packs await your decree. Kael helped me stand. Go, my queen. Let them see the face of their unity. 2 months later, the Citadel was hosting a grand summit of permanent peace. Elara stood beside Kael, her hand resting over the gentle swell of her pregnancy. The new treaty is ironclad, my queen, Valkyrie murmured. The peace holds because they see the unity. The Ashwood ambassador offered his brothers belated repentance. The peace established by my sacrifice will not be tarnished by old resentments, Elara announced. Ashwood will be governed under Nightshade law. My brothers will remain in exile. Their role is finished. Kael affirmed, the queen's word is the law of Nightshade. That night, Elara stood on the balcony. Kael wrapped his arms around her. I still feel the bond, stronger every day, Kael murmured, his hand resting on her abdomen, and I feel the child, a powerful presence already. The child will be the strongest blend of the warrior and the key, Elara replied softly. Chaos cannot truly be destroyed, Kael admitted. It can only be contained. Our child is the guarantee for the next generation, Elara concluded. Kael turned her to face him. Then our reign must be eternal, my queen, and our love, our bond, that is the perpetual, sovereign shield. He kissed her. A year later, the day of the official coronation arrived. Elara stood on the high summit. Kael placed the crown upon her head. I swear my fidelity to the moon key, the sovereign shield, and the eternal heart of Nightshade, Kael declared. I swear my sovereign will to the safety and prosperity of this kingdom, Elara vowed. We are one. The roar of the pack was deafening. That night, Kael and Elara stood in the nursery, looking over their sleeping son, Rhys. He sleeps soundly, Kael observed. The chaos will fear him. The prophecy is no longer a burden, Elara replied. It is a legacy. We broke the cycle of fear, Kael. We chose love. Forever, Elara, Kael whispered. Forever, she confirmed. 10 years after the binding, the reign of Elara and Kael was defined by stability. Prince Rhys was a boy with Kael's frame and Elara's silver eyes. The allied packs send delegates seeking guidance on handling the fringe territories, Kael noted in the council chamber. We do not conquer, Elara stated. We export stability. Our greatest weapon was never Kael's fury. It was the choice we made for unity. The price of peace is eternal vigilance, Kael affirmed, but the cost of our unity was worth every drop of blood spilled at the grove. A cold, bright evening, Kael and Elara returned to the summit. Prince Rhys joined them. Father, will the chaos ever truly disappear? Kael knelt beside his son. Chaos is a season, my son, not a god. Your duty is not to destroy the chaos, but to maintain the balance. Elara smiled. He is ready, king. Kael pulled her into a final embrace. We gave him the truth, my moon key, that the greatest power we possess is the love that binds us, and that love began with the most fated bargain. The final image rests upon the sovereign shield, but the story's true end lies in the enduring strength of the bond forged within. The fated bargain was never about avoiding the inevitable. The return of chaos, its true gift, was the creation of a defense strong enough to withstand it. The legacy of the Moon Key and the Alpha Warrior ensures the kingdom will always favor balance. Their child, Rhys, represents the next iteration of the eternal vigilance. The story of the fated bargain is complete. Kael and Elara's journey was the ultimate triumph of the heart over fate. Their scars were not reminders of pain, but symbols of their sacred bond. The greatest power they possessed was the love that bound them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more epic werewolf romance audiobooks.